Hey, my Legion, how y'all doing today? Today I'm here to review something a long time in the making, over 40 years. The show is CPO Sharkey, revisiting a show. One of my favorite shows as a kid. It ran for two seasons from like 1976 to 1978. And I love the show. It was so funny back then. Because Don Rickles, may rest in peace, was one of my favorite comedians. And it revolves him being a chief petty officer in the Navy, and he oversees this group of recruits through boot camp. And he had the one guy, Pruitt, that worked with him, a super tall guy. He used to be in a ton of movies back in the 70s up to the 80s. And they even showed him on a date with this one girl. I can't remember her name, but I mean, those two both were on a whole bunch of movies. They were even in a movie called Roadie, which I remember seeing with Meatloaf in it. I didn't see till I was in Fort Bragg. I finally found it. Well, anyways, basically, it's a comedy, and there's lots of like insulting back and forth and stuff like because he was an insult comic, way before Triumph did it. And it might seem like some of the jokes might be a little bit racist or not PC, but he was an equal opportunity offender. He insulted everybody, but it meant as a joke though, and not nothing hateful or out of spite or anything like that. And that's how this show was. It might be a little bit, might seem a little bit out of someone's comfort zone today. But I mean, just like with All in the Family, with Archie Bunker and stuff like that. But I mean, he had Lionel, and they both went back and forth. I mean, but he liked Lionel, and then Lionel would, you know, say an insult back at him. But I mean, I still think the show is really funny. I've seen like 4 episodes so far, and it's really a wonderful show. Don Rose is really good. Now the show didn't last that long, like 2 seasons, even though that's not bad for a lot of shows, right? And they said it was panned by a lot of critics and stuff like that, but I think the show was funny. One of the biggest problems was the writers had trouble writing for Rickles because he was just such a. He didn't tell jokes, though. He was just insults and stuff like that. I mean, it was like he'd go in a spoof of just like riffing off people and like, telling different insults. He didn't tell jokes, though. I mean, it was just like all improv to him. Or just like deal with a show with him on Fox with Richard Lewis. I can't remember Dear Dad or something like that, or Daddy Dearest or something like that. Where I mean, he just either I don't know if he did a lot of improv on the show, if he wrote some of it, or but I mean, I never thought Richard Lewis was funny at all. But I mean, he really he really overshadowed Richard Lewis big time on that show. I love CPO Shark. I still think it's funny. I mean, I didn't see. I mean, I saw it as a kid. And I remember just seeing it at the real old house, right? And then the other time I saw it, I mean, a little bit of it was on. I was in Fort Detrick, Maryland, right? And they were showing reruns. I watched a little bit of a rerun. I didn't watch the whole thing. I wasn't the whole episode, but some of the reruns, like, oh my god, it's CPO Sharkey. And actually, it was scenes that Pruitt guy was in. And Don Rickles wasn't in the scene though, so that was really cool. But now, I guess on all that shout, they have Shout Factory TV streaming. You can watch episodes of CPO Sharkey. I mean, they're wonderful, and there's episodes on YouTube as well. But I mean, it's really a wonderful show. I really liked it. I give it a 9 out of 10. I think it's really funny. And Don Rickles is, I mean, he's a great guy, and I always thought he was funny. I always did. And he's in like, I mean, sometimes he'll do like serious stuff, mostly not. And then like he was in, I remember he was in X the Man with Extra Eyes. He did a really good job in that one. Really classy stuff. I mean, he was funny in that one too. He was in that John Landis movie, Innocent Blood, too, if I'm not mistaken. He was great in that too. But I like CBO Sharkey. I really enjoyed the show, and I'm glad to revisit it after all these years, over 40 years. It's still an awesome show. So I hope you like this video. Bye. Till next time, please take care, my legion.